progressive delivery, GitOps, workflows, events, secrets management through Git, and so on and so forth. This is the automation of everything. What do we get when we combine events with workflows or pipelines and then sprinkle in some GitOps and progressive delivery? What do we get when we combine all those things? The short answer is that we get something absolutely awesome. Slightly longer answer, still short, is that we can get full automation of everything, or at least full automation of everything happening after pushing a change to Git repository. And we get all that in a way that is appropriate for 2021. Now, we could do that before, we could automate stuff before, but we don't live in the past. This is how you do it in 2021, full automation of everything. So what do we need? What is all this? What are we going to use today? To begin with, the obvious one, Kubernetes, right? Everybody uses Kubernetes, or fully, partly, somehow. Anyway, Kubernetes is here, right? We're going to use Git because that's the only source code repository that matters today. Specifically, it will be GitHub, but everything I'm going to show you applies to GitLab or whichever other Git provider you might be using. And then we need the container registry. I'm going to use Docker Hub. Again, applies to any container registry. I don't care which one you have, they're all the same to me. And now comes the interesting part. Now comes the real part. We are going to use Argo and Argo and Argo and Argo. To be more specific, Argo Events for events, Argo Workflows for workflows or pipelines, Argo CD for GitOps type of deployments, and Argo Rollouts for Canary deployments, for progressive delivery. It could be blue-green as well, but today, Canary, why not? And finally, the last thing we need is a way how to manage our secrets. I'm going to go with the GitOps type of managing secrets, so it will be SealedSecrets. Now, the important part of all this is that you've seen all of those things if you're watching my videos. I did a video about Argo CD, and I did a video about Argo Rollouts, and I did a video about Argo Events and Argo Workflows and SealedSecrets, and a lot of videos are dealing with Kubernetes. I mean, that's one of my main topics, and there is Docker Hub injected over there somehow. So you've seen all those videos. All this already happened. What we are going to do today, what is different compared to what we were doing before, is that this time we are going to combine half of the videos I did in the past into one coherent group. We are going to create a platform, to create a system, unlike dealing with individual tools like we did before. In other words, I'm going to show you everything you might need to do to automate everything. Before we jump into hands-on part of all this, there are a couple of things I did in advance. To begin with, I created a Kubernetes cluster. I already have a cluster. I will not show you how to create a cluster. You know how to create a cluster, right? You know it. Inside of that Kubernetes cluster, I installed Nginx Ingress and I installed SealedSecrets. That's the only thing that I installed. I need SealedSecrets because without them, I cannot create manifests with my secrets. And again, you know what SealedSecrets are. The link is somewhere above my head, so go there and watch it if you don't know what SealedSecrets are. And that's about it. That's all I have. Kubernetes cluster, Ingress, SealedSecrets, and the instructions how to create the same stuff, to get to the same point where I am before I start doing things, is in a gist, and gist is in the description. It might take you like 15 minutes plus whatever it takes you to create a Kubernetes cluster. It's not a big deal. Still, I did not want to take away 15 minutes from this video to show how I prepared for this. Let's try to figure out whether we can use Argo and a few other projects to automate absolutely everything. So I have a empty cluster, basically only Nginx Ingress running over there, and yeah, SealedSecrets. And the first step we need to do is to set up everything we need for production. And that everything means everything, really. But there is an important rule. I do not want to go to my cluster and do kubectl install or helm this or customize that. No. So we are going to apply GitOps principles from the very start. Actually, we are going to apply it in a minute. We're going to break the rule, but only once. I will break the rule only once. So you'll understand in a second what's going on. So let me go to the directory where I cloned the repository, and that's this one. And let's see what I have prepared here for you, for me. And that is a directory production. And inside of that directory, I have Argo CD applications that define absolutely everything I need today for you guys. I will need to install Argo CD. I will need to install, I will deploy an application that will be a demo application. I need Argo Events, Rollouts, Workflows, Istio, Prometheus, SealedSecrets, everything, even those things like SealedSecrets that are already installed, they're defined in Git as well. So we cannot really apply Git without having Argo CD installed. So it's a chicken and egg problem. So we do need to install Argo CD, but after that, Argo CD should make sure that all those applications are up and running in our cluster, and that the desired state, what is defined in this directory, in this Git repo, is always the same as the actual state, or actually the other way around, that the actual state is the same as the desired state. So I will execute kubectl, actually customize, to deploy Argo CD, and from there on, Argo CD will be managing everything in this cluster, including Argo CD itself. So any future upgrades, basically I will not be running kubectl commands ever again. This is the last time I will execute any command that interacts directly with the cluster, except in a read-only mode to show you what's going on. So installing Argo CD and making sure that Argo CD is going to do what needs to be done. And that's customize. I'm using customize today, but it could be the same thing with Helm. Build Argo CD is the directory, and I have it defined in overlays production. And then I'm going to pipe that to kubectl, apply -- file name, and then -- meaning standard input. And this will take a few seconds. And after that, we should have Argo CD applied. Not yet up and running, but applied. There we are. All the resources were created. Now, all that's left from Argo CD perspective is to make sure that it is running. So I will do kubectl -- namespace Argo CD, and I want to wait for the rollout status of the deployment, Argo CD, and what is it, server, I think. Now this will take a couple of seconds until it is rolled out fully. By the way, I will be fast forwarding a few times so that you don't watch me waiting for stuff. So expect that in your case, things will be slightly slower than what you will see on my screen. And there we are. Now, there are a few things. I will just copy and paste commands instead of typing them to be faster. Those commands will update the username and password, actually the password only of Argo CD, changing it to be admin, right? Like every good password, admin is always a good choice for a password, isn't it? And let's open Argo CD and see whether it is really up and running. Open HTTP data and Argo CD, then base host. I think that's how I defined it. And here we are. Here is the Argo CD UI, admin, as you can guess. And there is absolutely nothing inside of, no definition, nothing that Argo CD is managing. We're going to change that in a second. So far, we only installed Argo CD, and now we're going to do the full-blown everything, the whole production, without, actually, this time will be the last time I will access the cluster ever again in write mode. Read-only is okay, right? So we need two more things. We are almost done with everything we need from deployment perspective, everything. One is to create a project. So here is the project, cut project YAML. It's a simple project, Argo CD project that defines staging and production. So here is the production, here is staging. I will not bother you with details. I assume that you watched the video about Argo. This is not about Argo, this is about everything, right? So kubectl apply, and then file name is project.yaml. And now that we have those two projects, I'm going to create two applications, apps.yaml, and basically the same logic, defining staging that will be pointing to this repository, the repository where I am right now, and to the directory staging, and another second application that will be production, right? Production environment, pointing to the same repository, but to the directory production. And this is now I'm serious. This is the last time I'm going to change anything inside of my cluster myself. From now on, Argo CD will manage absolutely everything. So kubectl apply, and then file name is apps.yaml. And that's about it. Now let's take a quick look at what's going on in Argo CD UI. Here we are, 2 applications created. I don't know if you were fast enough. Project production and staging. And those 2 applications figured out that there are other applications, and they're all being created right now, right? So it figured out everything. Now this is my whole product. Production and staging, everything, at least everything for this demo is right here. And all I did was just tell Argo CD, hey, these are the repositories, do whatever is defined over there. Don't bother me much. Now this will take a couple of moments, so I will fast forward again to the end of this process. There is a lot of going on, like demo application is staging, Istio, egress, resources, SealedSecrets, Argo combined app, which is the same application, demo application in production, Istio itself, Argo Events, Argo Workflows, Argo Rollouts, Ingress for Istio, Argo CD, it's managing itself, Prometheus, and staging and production environments, whole shenanigans, everything happening with a single command, basically applying Argo CD application. So let's fast forward to the end of the process. That's it. Everything is up and running except the demo application running in production. That's normal because I didn't create the first release. I'm actually surprised that the same one in staging is running. That's surprising, probably from previous tests of this script. Anyways, if you ignore the demo applications, those called Argo Combined App and Argo Combined App Staging, everything is up and running. Now we know how we will deploy stuff just by pushing changes to Git. That's what Argo CD does. And we need to now figure out how do we create a workflow or a pipeline that will do everything that needs to be done when we push some changes to a repository of an application. You know, it needs to build container images, maybe some binaries, create some releases, deploy to staging, run some tests, deploy to production. You know, the process depends and the exact steps will differ. But the point is that we need to figure out how to do all the automation before Argo CD can take over and do the deployment itself. So everything happening until the deployment or after deployment, we're going to see. So now we're talking about pipelines, workflows. So let me go back to the terminal. The next thing we need are events. We need to tell GitHub to send a webhook request to our cluster, and we need to tell some processes in the cluster to trigger some pipelines, and we are going to do that through Argo Events, and the pipelines themselves will be Argo Workflows, and let's see how that works. By the way, I assume that you watched the video about Argo Events, Argo Workflows, Argo CD. If you didn't, it's in the description, right? This is not rehashing the same thing, just how to combine everything, absolutely everything. So Argo Events, and then if you see to overlays, and then production, and then event sources, right? These are the event sources from Argo Events. And basically what this is doing is telling, hey, this is going to be called GitHub. There are some ports to be opened, and I want you to notify repository Argo Combined App. Actually, I want you to modify repository Argo Combined App to send a webhook request to this specific address. Basically, this is creating a webhook request that will be firing events or notifications to our cluster, and ingress that will enable that communication, right? And the second thing, so now we know how to trigger events into the cluster from GitHub. Now we need to figure out how to pick up those events. That's decoupled, and do something with them, and specifically how to run a pipeline. And that's defined in a separate file. So Argo Events, overlays, what was it? Production, and I think sensors, yes. This is where I defined it. Now, this is a long one. I will not go through the details. Again, watch Argo Workflows, Argo Events videos. What matters is just a quick overview. So this will basically monitor those events coming from GitHub. And the event name is Argo Combined App, which is event from repository with the same name. And then setting up few secrets. And after that, we have templates. This is where things are happening. Build a container image with Kaniko. How do we build container image? I don't know, because there is a template that is already defined in a cluster. Argo CD deployed it, right? We are using templates heavily here to avoid repeating ourselves here. So this is a reference to template build Kaniko with Git that will build container image. And then we have another template that will promote to staging. What that means is that it will modify staging definitions, manifests. Argo CD manifests the defined staging by changing the tag of the image that should be deployed there. And those are the few arguments. And then we have promotion to production. And then we have running some functional tests and integration tests. And all those are using DAG in Argo workflows, meaning that we have dependencies. Hey, you can run functional tests after you promote to staging. You can run integration tests after you promote to staging. And to promote to production, dependencies are both functional integration tests and so on and so forth. So a set of tasks and the dependencies, so the tasks are all executed in parallel or certain order or whatever we want, basically. And then at the bottom, we have parameters. Basically, what we are doing here is we are getting the parameters. We are parsing webhooks from GitHub and then extracting certain values like git URL and then passing those values as parameters for the workflow above, right? So instead of hard coding what is the name of the application, what is the name of the image, what is the repository, what's not, we are getting all that information from webhooks, right? So this template could be used not for this application, this could be used for any application that uses the same steps, right? Not only for this one, because nothing here is hard coded, nothing, all the things are retrieved from GitHub itself. So amazing, very reusable, what's not. Now, what else? Let's confirm that the webhook was created, really, and it's just opening the hooks in GitHub, and here we are. You can see here that it created the webhook. Now, don't be alarmed that it is red. That's normal, because when Argo Events created the webhook, probably the load balancer that allows capturing those webhooks was not created at the same time. This is race condition, but trust me, it will work. Actually, I can confirm that right away that this is just a temporary problem because load balancer was not created. If I redeliver, look at this, it will be green. There we are, right? This is just because load balancer was not created. But webhooks are set up and running. Magic, right? Now let me go back to the terminal and I'm going to open another address to show you something else. HTTP, and then Argo workflows, and then base host. This is where I'm hosting my. This is where I'm hosting Argo workflows UI. Now this looks horrible. This looks like a bad joke because it's empty. Think of it as a bug or a temporary problem. Anyway, we're going to go to workflows, and here you can see the namespace. I'm going to change it to see all the namespaces. You can see the first workflow already was executed. We're going to ignore that. I don't need it for now, so I'm going to delete it. You will see soon what this will do. So we have here workflows, we have workflow templates, cluster workflow templates. Those are the templates that were created by Argo CD because this template builds container image, this one promotes to staging or production or wherever we want. All that is already set up. And what do we have else? Event flows. We can see how the events are connecting things. What is missing here is workflow, but that will appear when the first workflow successfully is executed. So you will see that that soon. And we have event sources. This is the webhook in GitHub. We have sensors. This is the webhook. This is the trigger that is triggering workflows. Everything is here. Everything is happening automatically, and I'm not accessing my cluster. Argo CD deployed absolutely everything. So now, let's go back to the terminal and make a change to the application and see whether the whole pipeline, the whole workflow really works. And I'm going to do that by clearing the screen first. Clear. I don't know how to type. And then I'm going to go to the repository of the application, which is Argo Combined App. I'm going to change the address of production, which basically it's based on Istio. You will see later why Istio. and only in production, not staging, you can ignore this command. It's not important. I'm going to also change the address through which my application in production can be accessed. I should have done this in advance. Again, not important. What is important is this guy over here. So I'm going to open config toml, and I'm going to make some silly change to the application so that you see that it's working. So I'm going to change this text here that says where DevOps becomes practice. And what should I do? I'm simulating that I'm creating a new feature or something like that, modifying the application. I will say, hey, yeah, subscribe now. That's a good thing. By the way, do subscribe if you haven't already. Don't only watch the text I'm changing. Subscribe. It's important. Anyways, so I'm making change to my application, and then I'm going to do what every developer does. Imagine that I already tested it locally, that it works as it should be, and all that stuff. And I'm going to push it to Git. So git add, git commit, -m, no, commit. I don't know how to type today. And -m, and what should be a silly message. I hate writing messages, but they're very useful though. And git push. So I push the change to the Git repository, and now I should see the new pipeline workflow running in the UI. Let's see whether that's true. I'm going to go to the workflows, and here it is. It is running. The pipeline is running. It is building my container image. And remember, not only that I cannot access the cluster, but other tools cannot access the cluster. This workflow will not deploy anything anywhere. What it will do is that it will build a new image that's happening right now, and then it will modify the repository that defines staging, and then Argo CD will pull that information, deploy something, and then I will run functional and integration tests, and if both are successful, I will modify the repository that defines production, and then Argo CD will again do whatever it does, and it will be running in production. And now, fast forwarding to the end of the process, I have 20 minutes to go through all this for you guys. There we are. It's already promoted to staging, and now it is running integration tests and functional tests. If you're wondering why am I doing that right away instead of waiting for a while, I tend to use functional integration tests before deployments, during deployments, after deployments, but this is mock now, so it doesn't matter. But what does matter is that I will go to Argo CD. Where is Argo CD? And we're going to confirm that staging changed. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to the deployment, and I'm going to look for the desired manifest, and the image is still the old one, right? So Argo CD did not pick it up yet. It will pick it up in a second or two, up to 3 minutes. That's the pooling frequency. Okay, now it is progressing. Let's double check the image. Here we are, right? It's not latest anymore. It updated the image to the one that was built through the workflow using Kaniko and all that jazz. Did I say jazz? All that jazz. And now actually a new version is running in staging, and then the tests were executed, and it automatically promoted to production. I could have created a pull request to do continuous delivery instead of deployment, but I went all the way in complete continuous deployment. And we should see Argo combined up here in production also running. And in production, and this is special, I'm using Canary deployments. And because I want to allow only a fraction of users to use it. So now we're jumping into the last project of Argo CD. We are using Canary deployments only in production, because Canary deployments make sense only in production. So let me show you what it looks like. So how did I define Canary deployments? Here's the rollout YAML. This is the definition only applied to production of this application, and it has some analysis like average number of percentage of successful requests, average response time, all that jazz. And it is doing 10% and then waiting for 2 minutes, and then increasing the weight to 30%, running analysis, all that stuff. Argo rollouts, if you don't know what Argo rollouts are, the description contains the link, and it's probably above my head as well. And let's take a look whether Canary deployments were successful. I have a strange feeling that they will not be, but let's double check. So I'm going to execute kubectl argo rollouts, and then -- namespace is production, and we want to get rollout called Argo combined up, and we want to watch for changes. And we can see here, oh, I need to move aside. You can see that it is failing. It's failing big time, but that's normal. I can actually explain why it's failing. I expected it to fail simply because it is doing analysis of average request duration and error rates and stuff like that, but it has no data in Prometheus simply because nobody's using this application. So I expected it to fail. If I started using the application, then we would see some results. But in case of Canary deployments, if nobody's using that application, that's a bad sign, absolutely bad sign, horrible sign. Anyway, so it is scaling down, but this is the proof. We got Canary deployments as well. We got progressive delivery, and that's all combined. So let me go back to the main screen, full screen, no more terminal, and explain what happened, because a lot of things happened, and I tried to squeeze it into 20 minutes. I hope I did. Maybe I didn't. I'm not sure. Anyways, let's go through what just happened. So this was essentially a combination of everything. To be honest, I was preparing this video for like last 4 or 5 months. Significant number of videos I made in the past were made as a preparation for this one, in which I wanted to combine everything: progressive delivery, GitOps, workflows, events, secrets management through Git, and so on and so forth. And we did that by combining all the tools that I explored before. So if you're confused, if you don't know what happened, you probably haven't seen those videos. So go to the description and check out Argo CD, Argo Events, Argo Rollouts, Argo, what else is missing there? Something is missing. Yes, workflows, and SealedSecrets and Kaniko, right? I explored all those in separation. This is how to combine them all together, and that was the sinister reason I had behind creating all those videos in the past. I knew that I will get to this point, but I had to get there step by step, and this is the automation of everything in a way that is appropriate for 2021. So this is not the tools which I'm not going to name that already exist for a couple of years, 10 years, 20 years. No, this is Kubernetes native, cloud native way how to do full automation of everything. As always, please let me know if you want me to go into more details of any of those subjects. If you want me to explore some other subject, it's up to you. Put in the comments. I cannot promise that I will do it, but I will do my best to do it. So most of the videos, not most, half of the videos are driven by your comments. The other half is whatever I want to do. And before you go, subscribe, hit the like button, bell icon, do all the jazz, all the stuff that you normally do. And see you next time. Cheers.